Hey everyone, it's Jerry at the Fledge. Welcome to another episode of Every Damn Day. Today we have on our show our friend Caley. How you doing today, Caley?
Great. How are you, Jerry?
I am doing great. It's I can't believe what a beautiful day it is outside, and we got our food distribution done early, so it is good. And we've got a lot to talk about with Capital City Market, I think, at some point
Yeah,
too, right? So, apple blossom kombucha. Did I
kombucha.
do it?
Yeah.
All right. Tell us about yourself. Tell us about apple blossom and your projects that you're working on.
Yeah. So Apple Blossom Kombucha is the business I own. I've given up my full-time job and everything to kind of pursue this and share with the community. So right now I'm growing and expanding and working on that.
So, I'm going to talk a little bit about you first.
Yeah.
Where are you from, Lansing? Where are you from?
I'm from outside of Chicago, but I went to Grand Valley. I got a little scholarship to pole vault there.
Wow.
Yeah, so I pole vaulted at Grand Valley for 4 years, became a teacher, moved to Lansing, taught around town for about 3, 4 years, and then decided to give it up to pursue my own small business, Apple Blossom Kombucha.
See, I tried pole vaulting my senior year of high school.
Yeah,
I think I made like 7 feet or something.
there you
No,
go.
no, it was okay. I did okay, but man, that's tough.
Yeah.
Like, what's the highest you've ever done?
Up around 13 feet, 12
Wow.
something. But
And
I'm
that's,
short for a pole vaulter.
you're short?
Yeah,
Is that what you
I'm
said?
5'2", so most pole vaulters are pretty tall.
Did you do other sports? I'm not going to make this whole show about sports, but did you do other sports
Yeah,
too?
I did diving, and then I also did gymnastics, so it kind of just all rolls together, that body awareness. And that's
Yeah.
what brought me into becoming a teacher. I was a PE and health teacher, and then a personal trainer as well, and that's where I discovered kombucha, and here I am.
So, some people might not know what kombucha is.
Yeah.
Can you got a brief overview so
Yeah,
people
so
know?
kombucha is a fermented tea. So the main reason people drink kombucha or have heard of kombucha is because it has living bacteria in it. So it's a probiotic. So it's good for your belly and gut and digestion. But there's a lot of other known health benefits to drinking kombucha as well.
And how long have you been making it?
Ooh, probably over 10 years. But just, in business, around 3 years. I started selling it just kind of under the table to my personal training clients. And then I decided it should be a thing. And I, got my LLC and went legal. And here I am.
And we should give a shout out to the Allen Neighborhood Center because you started there.
Yep, because kombucha has to be made in a commercial kitchen. I know a lot of people homebrew kombucha, just like you could homebrew beer. But if you're going to sell it to other people, it has to be made in a commercial kitchen. And that's where I started, in Allen Neighborhood Center. I paid for like a little fermenting area. I would brew and bottle and do everything there. And very quickly, I outgrew Allen. And now I have my own space.
So how long have you, or when did you graduate from Allen?
Just within these couple of months, just this year.
Yeah. And how's your new space working out for you?
It's great. It's in Lansing, kind of across from Frandor Shopping Center. Next to, there's like a Cask & Co., Front 43, and then I'm in that little strip right there. So hopefully I'll open next week if all goes well with running my last electrical line to get things plugged up. But then I'm good to go. I'm already making it there. Just want to open as, the first tap room for kombucha in Lansing.
Oh, is that's a thing, and that'll be
make it a thing.
Oh, is it a thing in other cities too?
Yeah, so kombucha is big in Colorado and Oregon and other places where, health trends kind of start. And then slowly it's gotten to Michigan. And now, more and more people that have heard of kombucha. So hopefully me opening up and having my storefront sign up there will pique some interest.
Yeah. So what does what'd you call it? A kombucha
like a tap room. So I'll have
Tap room.
on tap. So customers can refill their howlers, growlers, whatever containers they want with kombucha. I'll also sell bottles and some other just local goodies from my friends that, I've met at farmers markets and shops around
Yeah.
town.
Yeah, I'm also curious. So you were doing this under the table, you said,
Yeah.
and then you said, I better get legit because this is a thing, it's happening.
Yep.
And you got your LLC and you got into a licensed kitchen. And then how'd you get the confidence to do a brick and mortar? I mean, scary.
Well, that kind of, all happened at once. It was crazy. So I outgrew Allen. I just couldn't brew as much as I was selling. So I'd be canceling markets. I couldn't get into stores because I didn't have enough. So I started looking at spaces. At first, I just wanted a production space. And that quickly fell through because they wanted a ton of money to do the right drainage in the building that I needed. And then I just happened upon a friend who had this space. They were stuck in a 10-year lease, but they had 3 years left in it and they were done. They moved locations and had 3 years left. So I kind of took over that lease and it happened to be a storefront area. So I was like, I guess this is what it's going to be.
Yeah. And you're going to be, I don't know if this is good or bad, but right across the street from like that Red Cedar development too.
Oh, is
right?
there?
Is that where you're at? Or on the other side of Frandor?
It's on Saginaw. So the other side.
Oh, okay. All right.
Across
but still,
the Speedway.
That's a great,
in the middle.
Yeah, that's a great location.
Yeah.
I think at one point in the world that Burger King that's there was the busiest Burger King in the world.
Oh, really? Oh my God.
I don't know, that might be a Lansing myth from the 80s or something. we get what we can take.
Yeah.
So all during COVID.
Yeah. I mean, the lucky thing for me during COVID, like any small business, I've encountered my troubles, sourcing my bottles and getting things shipped. It's been crazy hard. But luckily, where I sell my kombucha, the stores are grocery stores and farmers markets, which haven't closed at this time. So I've still been able to get my product out there and move my product and advertise, which has been a good thing.
Yeah. Have you found moving into the retail? Well, let me ask you something. Is this something that eventually post-COVID, whatever that looks like, people can come and sit and have their kombucha?
Have a flight of kombucha, sip on a cup. Yeah. Like a little cafe, kind of like a kombucha coffee cafe.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So, but that's not really your business hasn't been dependent on that. So you kind of built your business without that. Do you feel like whatever's going to happen with COVID, you're going to be okay and resilient?
I sure hope so, because I've given everything up to do this. Yeah. That at least, despite whether the tap room, is a great success or a great failure, let's say, I'll still be able to produce my kombucha there and bottle it and get to stores and farmers markets and do stuff. Even if, you build it and they don't come, I'm still utilizing that space. It's not just I'm paying rent on an empty space. That's a tap room. I'm making it all there. I'm doing it all there.
That's I think that's so important to have different options for what you can do with something like that. And it definitely gives you strength when you need to be resilient. You know, I got to close this down, but I can still make it.
Yeah, exactly.
So I said we got to give a shout out to Capital City Market too. Were they the first retail?
No, I've been in a couple other retailers, but they've definitely been like my biggest one so far. I mean, they've been really great with working with me and a lot of my friends that I know from the farmers markets, getting their stuff in stores. So since I'm like the most local Michigan kombucha to that store, I have like prime spot on the shelf. I have a really big spot on the shelf to show all my flavors. I'm also on tap there. I have a kegerator with 3 kombuchas on tap that I can send my customers to refill or get a new growler or howler or cup of kombucha while they shop.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's they came in with the hope that they were going to solve a food desert problem, but then you look at, that's kind of that's not your normal Meijer, right? You walk in and you're in something that's
Yeah.
bigger, that's special. And so it's not exactly the poor people's Meijer, if you will.
Yeah.
But what they have done locally and what they have done, like with the food distribution that they do with us, has been amazing.
Yeah.
And then to hear you say they're really good to work with, right?
Yeah. And it's awesome. It's not like dealing with Meijer. Like, I could call Hunter or Mitch or who, like, I know them. They know me when I walk in the door. They call me and say, "Hey, Caley, this cherry flavor is out on tap. Can you come bring another today?" And I'm like, "No, I don't have my babysitter. Can I bring my baby?" They're like, "Sure." So it's so nice.
Yeah, I really like that because they are. I do think they're trying really hard to be that hometown grocery, that neighborhood grocery feel.
Yeah,
And
things they're not that great with, or maybe, farmers might see it a different way. They've been working with them to see eye to eye and get, more locally grown stuff in there.
yeah, that's amazing. So, Erica, I don't know if you ever met Erica
Yeah.
in one of the 99 Problems or not, but she wants to have open mic at the tap room
Oh
someday.
yeah, I want to hear Erica sing there. I ran into
Did
her.
you hear her singing during her pitch before?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So is there something, what would you say your mission is? What's your mission with what you're doing?
Yeah, that's a great question. My big thing with apple blossom kombucha. Apple blossom is the state flower of Michigan, so that's kind of how I named it. And the big thing is all of my flavors, everything is from Michigan. So, like, I have a berry. All my berries are from Michigan. I have a botanical blend, which is mainly cucumber and mint, from Michigan, ginger from Michigan. So the flavors I really focus on are Michigan made, Michigan grown, and they're from the farmers I know. I know how those berries were picked, grown, how this, cucumber, where it came from, as well as, the designer that designed my labels, Michigan designer. I get all my bottles, my caps, my boxes, everything from Michigan, because the money we spend here stays here and it stays local. So I try and keep it as close to Lansing as I can. All my flavors are Lansing grown ingredients. Really, the only thing I've had trouble with sourcing is tea, green tea and black tea, which is what kombucha is. But I get them from a Michigan company. Although the tea doesn't grow in Michigan, I wish it could in the amounts I needed. It's just hard in our climate.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my big focus point.
So do you have to like seasonally change your flavors?
Yeah. So on the tap right now, you'll notice a lot of, I can freeze things too for flavors.
Mhm.
So like all my berry, ginger, cucumber, mint. The winter months, it's frozen stuff that I use if I can't get it fresh from a Michigan farmer. But like, you'll notice my flavors change seasonally. So when you said, which one did I have this summer? I was like, well, what season was it? Was it when they were picking the cherries? Because it was probably a cherry. Was it when all the berries were in season? Because it was probably a berry.
So I love that you do that, because when people force the flavors in the months, the non-seasonal months, it really,
Different.
it the freezing is one thing, and taking nutrition out and whatever you might have to do to preserve that. But also, do you think it helps the farmers to,
Definitely.
yeah, I like it.
Definitely. I can tell you where I got all of my berries from this batch. All of my cucumbers came from Highwater Farms or, wherever.
You know that at the Fledge here, we love you for doing that, because we want to trap these dollars in the community for as long as possible.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. One other thing though, on the seasonal thing, I've thought about that a lot on how grocery stores bring things in from all over the place and the carbon footprint that gets created because of it. And then just I wonder if our bodies are in sync. Like if we know that the winter foods are the winter foods and the summer foods are the summer foods.
Yeah, it depends where you shop. If you're somebody who only shops at the farmers markets, your body probably does, know that, because right now we're eating a lot of potatoes and onions and squash.
Yeah.
Some tomatoes, maybe greenhouse.
So do you study a lot I guess the health benefits and all of that? Are you constantly learning more and more?
Yeah, I mean, about kombucha, I'm constantly reading. I'm part of Kombucha Brewer International. So, it's like all of the kombucha brewers in Michigan are a part of this, or not in Michigan, in the world, are part of the association. So I'm constantly learning about that. And as far as, the fruits and vegetables and herbs in Michigan, I just talk to the farmers and I trust them. I mean, I couldn't tell you the first thing about growing ginger, but when I talk to them who grow my ginger, then it's just great to learn and know about it all.
Does so some nutritious things or health beneficial things, they also come with rituals? Does kombucha have like a ritual thing around it, or?
Depends who you ask. I mean, kombucha was first discovered in China and Japan, like a lot of fermented foods, and then slowly came to the United States. Lots of people do have rituals when they brew kombucha, whether it's playing sound bowls to infuse their kombucha with the different waves of the sounds, or just playing like meditation music while you brew, which is what I do. I mean, I just like hang out, turn on some music, brew my kombucha, and it's fun and I enjoy doing it. And that's what got me here, giving up my full-time school job, 9 to 5, or however you want to say it, to do this.
Something weird like 7:37 to 4:28. That's always the school times, right?
Yeah.
Wow, you don't have to be a teacher right now. I
know, which that kind of what also propelled me to, give up my full-time job was because, I mean, I had a baby a year ago. So having my daughter, not wanting to be away from her every day, all day. So then I transitioned into part-time, and I was just giving up that part-time job as a teacher when COVID hit. And I was like, this is just the time to do it. It just is.
Yeah. I think all the signal. I'm sorry, what?
It was just hard to balance it all, being a teacher, being a mom, being a wife, being a kombucha brewer, going to farmers markets. Something had to give. And,
well, those first three things are full-time already, right? The mom, the teacher, the wife.
Yeah.
So, I really, I just met you when you were exploring the getting your own place and moving or graduating from the Allen Neighborhood Center. And man, it seems like everything just fell in place for you. It was
on the outside like that.
We know
work behind the scenes, but yeah, it was right when we met. It was like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, that's not my lucky charm. That was all you. That was hard work coming together. So that kind of leads into the question from yesterday. So yesterday I had a gentleman who's going to make, he calls them Mama's Medicine Sticks. And his question for you was, how does owning your own business affect the rest of your life, your personal life, whether with your family or your friends or what have you?
That's a hard question because there's such positives and a lot of negatives. Right now, I sell a lot of my kombucha at the farmers markets. So for the past 5 months, I'm gone every weekend. I have a farmers market all day Saturday, all day Sunday. But then the nice thing about it is during the week, I can work whenever I want. And a lot of times my daughter goes to bed at 6 and then I'm brewing kombucha from 6 p.m. to 12 p.m., So it's been nice. I can make my own schedule and spend time with my daughter. But then, I kind of give up my weekends to sell my kombucha.
Yeah. And do you find that owning your own business is everything you thought it would be, or
It's a
and
lot
some?
harder.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of hard work. And I mean, I say it went all easy, but there's just so many little things that you have to navigate and learn how to do. And man, a lot
Yeah.
of money to put into it, a lot of your own money to put into it. And you make a lot of mistakes. And I've made a lot of big mistakes, but you learn from them.
Yeah. You succeed or learn. There's not a failure option anymore.
Oh, not when you're in it.
Yeah. So tomorrow on the show, I've got a young artist. I think she's a senior at MSU. Her name is Autumn, and she's just kind of starting out with I think she has a studio. I'm not exactly sure yet.
Yeah.
But what question would you like to ask Autumn?
Artist, what's her biggest inspiration then? Everybody
What?
has, their inspiration behind their artwork. What would hers be?
Yeah. That'll be interesting to have her answer that. And also interesting would be have you answer what, besides what we've talked about, or you can reiterate or reinforce that.
Yeah.
What are the inspirations for like the flavors? Like how do you decide to mix potato and onion as the November flavor?
Yeah, I could get so deep into it. I mean, really, the bottom line is just health, making people healthier. And drinking kombucha, I can't say that it does, but it's a great added health benefit to you. And using things that grow in our community, and the closer you get to where you live and use that to flavor your kombucha, it's like a double whammy, local and kombucha put together. And I use the actual fruits and vegetables and herbs and, get as clean as I can, as close as I can to make my kombucha, when a lot of these bigger companies are, they're not doing that. Corporate companies, they're using juices, they're using syrups, they're using artificial ingredients and so much added sugar. So really that's my inspiration, is being as healthy as I can, as close as I can to support local.
That's it's so awesome what you're doing. I mean, the story's so much bigger than just a drink that's healthy for you. You're making the community healthy because you're giving us another option from sodas and all these other things, but you're also making our economy stronger and healthier because there's more options. You're trapping those dollars. It's
Exactly.
amazing.
You get it.
So as we kind of end up here, I always ask the guest, is there something that you want to take us out with, like some word of advice, something you want to promote, a grand opening maybe should be in the
Right.
card sometime. I don't know.
I mean, one big thing that I've lived by is, investing in your health, because the money, you put into your health and eating healthy and eating local, then you're not going to have to pay for sickness later. You're not putting your money into fixing it later, taking care of yourself now. And to do that, you should drink local kombucha. Hopefully, I'll be opening next week, my tap room. I think just a couple days a week to start at first, and then we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. And plus, we can get it at Capital City Market. Any place else?
Yeah, Capital City Market, also Horrocks, Foods for Living, Old Town General Store, Oh My Organics, and then all the LFA locations. There's one in Rio Town, Williamston, and Mason.
All our good friends.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so motivated with your outlook on the community and the health and what you're trying to do to stay local. Maybe when you're some huge corporation, all of that'll fall apart.
Never,
I don't think so. But you're amazing, and it's been fun to watch you grow and graduate, and now this tap room thing. I'm definitely going to come see you soon.
Good, awesome. And a lot of it's help from the Fledge and you, Jerry, helping promote me and, letting me pitch on 99.
You did great. I think you came in and and whooped everybody, right?
Yeah, maybe not the first time.
It's not always easy to get your presentation down to 99 seconds
No,
and
it's hard.
everything that you have to say.
Hey.
Yes. So I really appreciate you. Thanks for being our friend, and thanks for being in our community because you're making us stronger.
Oh, thanks.
I hope you have a good day.
Thanks.
See you, everybody.